Wow, listen to that bird. Don't know what it is. Hello. So I saw on YouTube a crow who's made his nest outside a police station, and he's changed his songs to the sounds of police cars. So he goes woo woo woo. I can't do it obviously, but yeah, like woo woo woo, and then he goes woo woo like that. Does sirens and stuff like that. It's funny how, I was going to say animals, is everybody, us as well. Funny how we, animals, whatever, we adapt to whatever situation we find ourselves in. You know, we communicate, or I communicate in this language, which can loosely be described as English, sort of. But if I was picked up and dropped off in the middle of wherever, Mexico, you know, it'd take me a long time, I expect, but eventually I'd be speaking either Mexican or broken Mexican, or a bit of English and a bit of Mexican, or whatever. We just adapt, don't we, to things, you know. That's as long as we want to, because there's some things that I don't think we should adapt to, and we should fight against things if we can, and what have you. And one of the things is this new hate crime rubbish up in Scotland. They've got a new minister there. They used to have, their minister was about that big, sort of ginger, little tiny ginger lesbian woman, and they lost her, and they had to replace her. So they replaced her with this guy called something like, I don't know his name, but it's something like Hamza Yusuf, or Yusuf Hamza, or I don't know, something like that. Anyway, because most politicians are mental, as we're fully aware, he's also mental. So he's decided to have hate laws that you can be put in prison for 7 years, even if you say something in your own home. So if I'm sat in my home and I say to a friend or partner or a neighbour or whatever, I'm really against this, I'm really against that. That's how I feel. You know, not that I would do anything about it, but this is how I feel. I'm really against this and against that. Not in a nasty way, but I'm against it, whatever it may be. If that person took offence, they'd go off down the cop shop and I'd be inside for 7 years or whatever it is. Absolutely ridiculous. That's just me saying something private in my own home. Now, some of it is okay, some of it is, but do you know what? I've said this before in videos, we've already got laws that cover all of this stuff. All of the IST and BIC. IST and BIC. So if you're racist, if you're transphobic, if you're homophobic, if you're oldest, all the ISTs and the ICs, you know, we've got laws. There are racism laws, so you don't need a hate crime. To say a racist slur is a hate crime, well, that falls under the Racism Act. To be transphobic comes under the sexuality stuff, the LBQ stuff. So do we need extra stuff in place? And if we do we need it in our own bloody homes? These politicians have got nothing else to do, so they sit there and they think, oh, what else can I do? how can I piss people off? What can I invent? What will I go down in history as, you know, we've got the Tories saying that homeless people mustn't smell, otherwise they'll fine them some money that they can never get, £2,500. And now you've got the, I think they call him the Minister or whatever of Scotland, First Minister, thinking, oh, what can I do? Oh, I know, I'll invent hate. So now hate is on our minds all the time. Just that word hate being on your mind isn't a very good thing. Not in my world. I live in a world of peace and love. Hippie. My hippie vibes. My spiritual vibes I don't have hate. I don't need hate. But now we're all thinking about hate. And somebody says, call that woman's fat. And we think, oh, is that a hate crime? Fat? Oh, is that... Well, we've got fatism, have we? Or fattist? Or is there... Oh, body shaming. Oh, there you go. Oh, that sounds like hate. I'll go up the police station. Or you say, oh, I don't like that biscuit. Nasty flavour. And somebody thinks, nasty flavour? Nasty flavour? Well, is that racist? Oh, no, it's not racist, because that's sight, isn't it, really racist? Or it's what we call somebody. Oh, hang on, he did call it nasty. Oh, yeah, nasty. Maybe nasty's a hate crime. I think it is. Hate. Yeah, nasty, hate. They sound the same. Flavour. Yeah, you didn't like flavour. Well, flavour, you could say that somebody who's tall or short or fat or thin or black or white, maybe they're a different flavour. Yeah, that's a hate crime. See if I can get that person done for hate. 7 years inside because you didn't like that biscuit. You know, this is what they do. Bloody idiots. So if I'm ever a politician, I'll sit there, piss bored, thinking, what can I invent? What can I do? Well, I like purple. I think everybody should wear purple, and those that don't, well, they can wear whatever colour they want, but they must pay a little fine. A tenner a day, you can wear whatever you like. But to avoid the tenner a day, 70 quid a week, it's a lot of money. Just wear purple. That'll do, won't it? That's a good rule, a good crime, a good law. It makes the government loads of money, because you'll have a few people say, bollocks, I'm wearing yellow. I look nice in my yellow. I don't like purple. Well, they can't say I don't like purple. That's a hate crime. You're hating against the colour purple, and you mustn't be doing that. Some people hate the rain. Anyway, please yourself what you do in your life. But do get rid of things. Do fight against things. It's our duty. I'll tell you one thing, just before I go, I can hear people behind me, so I'll call this done in a second, but since he's done all this crap, these hate crimes, there's been 3,000 hate crimes reported, and they've all been against him because he's racist. And he is racist. He says there's too many people, too many white people doing too many of these jobs in Scotland. Well, the fact is Scotland has 96.9% white people. What does he expect? Come on, boats. And he said some other stuff, so he's racist. So there's been thousands of people have reported him for hate crimes. And because so many people have reported him, that means that the police now have got to investigate all these hate crimes. Yeah. Anyway, we do live in very strange times, and it really is up to us not to accept things too much, you know. It's absolutely ridiculous, you know. I support anybody being who they are, how they are, what they are. But I only support them to a degree, and I've got my own thoughts and feelings and opinions on that, obviously, you know. I've got a friend who's transitioning from male to female, and I support him and I've got no problem. He would tell you that himself, but there's other stuff that I don't agree with, and that is the perverts reading to kids in libraries, handing out condoms, letting little girls fill dildos, and having the small children put money down its bra. I'm not in favour of that, and if I say that, people cry and they go, "You're transphobic." Well then, yeah, I must be. Must be. Oh, there's a dog, I can hear it. Right, keep going, boat. Come on. Okay, I'll love you and leave you. Take care and be well. Oh dear, well, I heard this ruckus behind me. I thought it was a big dog puffing away. Put Bodie on a lead and I stood over out the way, and these people came past me, and they had like 4 little tiny dogs, but one of them was pulling and pulling and pulling. Hence all the puffing. But they were all lovely, all friendly. They all had a little kiss and a cuddle and stuff like that, which is nice, isn't it, eh? Dogs invariably just want to say hello. So I thought I'd finish this off just briefly, because I started going somewhere and I kind of left you up in the air, didn't I? So that's, I got a problem, right? The problem that I've got is when somebody says, "Oh, you're transphobic," or "You're homophobic, you're racist, you're fattest, you're oldest," whatever, baldest, I don't know what they're going to call me, you know, governmentist. And it's pathetic. I believe in live and let live, and that's that. But of course I have my opinions and what have you, you know. You can do whatever you like in your life, can't you, really? But I got a mate, and he was saying that, he said gay people, there's no problem with gay people whatsoever, but he doesn't like to see 2 men kiss. And one of his friends was gay without him knowing. And he said, "You're homophobic." And he said, "Well, no, I'm not." He said, I fully... So he said, "Well, you don't fully support." He said, "Because 2 gay men do kiss." And he said, "Well, I kiss my wife, but, you know, we tend to do it at home or in the bedroom or wherever. You know, I don't normally kiss out in the street." So is this gay guy, is he straightist? Straightphobic? See what I mean? People just start crying. You have to like everything, every single element of them. You have to like, you have to appreciate, you have to accept. You can't be anything else. You must just accept, and that's the end of it. So if you've got a friend that's, I don't know, whatever. If you've got a black friend and that black friend decides to wear, whatever, a black hoodie or a balaclava, hold a pretend gun, I don't know, then you have to say, "Oh no, that's absolutely fine. I fully appreciate you walking the streets with this fake gun." Or you can say to your friends, "Do what you like in your life and I'll still be your mate and what have you, but next time we go down a pub, leave the fake gun at home." The amount of times you've been arrested for that bloody fake gun, you know, it affects me as well as it affects you. And then your friend says, "Right, you're a racist." Why am I a racist? Well, because you didn't like the gun. You know, or it could be somebody who's transitioning from male to female or female to male, and you have to like every single aspect of that. Their clothing, their hairstyle, their name choice, their everything, every last thing. And as soon as there's one thing that you say, "Yeah, I'm not keen on that," you're transphobic. So you can create these hate crimes very, very easily by just being true to yourself. I personally don't give a monkey's about somebody's colour or size or shape or sexuality or anything else. That doesn't bother me. One thing that does bother me is organised religion. I do have a problem with organised religion. I class myself as a Buddhist, but I take whatever I take from wherever it comes, all the good. That's what I believe. But because I class myself as that, you don't normally see it in these videos because I don't discuss it. It's I think religion is a personal, private thing. It's something that you do or are without shouting it from the rooftops. So the problem I've got with like, organised religions is when somebody spouts a lot of rubbish. You know, I believe in the Bible and the Bible's true and you should believe it and it was written by God and all this stuff. Now, of course, to me, it's just absolutely fantastical, isn't it? You know, Adam created a woman from his rib. Yeah, highly likely, you know. And the talking bear, talking snake, it goes on. But if you want to believe that, then you believe it. That's absolutely fine. But when you start trying to indoctrinate people, when you try to push it down people's throats, you know, that's the problem I've got with it. So somebody would say, oh, you're, oh, what's the word? Is there a word? There must be. So transphobic, are you religion phobic? Religism, I don't know, whatever it would be called, you know. Christianity, oh, something or other. I'm sure they'd invent some word. And it's the same as the paedophiles and what have you reading to children. Well, if you want to dress up as a drag queen, then do what you always used to do, and that is go into nightclubs and make us laugh. We'll pay 20 quid a pop and we'll have a great time, and your audience will be adults who chose to go in there and pay 20 quid to have a good laugh, call yourself Lily Savage or whatever, and be fantastic, be rude. We're all adults together. And then you can hand out condoms. You can let the women feel a dildo. You can grind yourself into men's laps if you must, you know. You can have the slogans that they have in libraries, it won't suck itself. Yeah, for 4-year-olds. You can have them in your nightclub, and they'd probably be quite funny in nightclubs. And if you must read to people, then what is wrong in going into hospitals and reading to people? What is wrong in reading to old age pensioners? Going into palliative care centres? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with reading to adults? What's wrong with going into homeless centres and reading a story to homeless people? What's wrong with choosing some adult centre? What's wrong with going into prisons? Why does it always have to be small children? So I've got a problem with that. So what does that make me? Dragist, drag queenist, drag queen phobiaist. That's a hate crime. I've just told you on camera the reasons why I think the drag queens, as far as I'm concerned, shouldn't be letting little girls touch dildos. I think children should be innocent, and that's wrong of me. I have to accept every last thing about drag queens, everything. Just see what I'm saying? If not, then it's a hate crime. And I'll see you in 7 years. Yeah, I don't fit into this world. I never have. My thoughts, opinions, my beliefs, and me, we don't fit. I really don't fit into. I don't see this world working for me very well. It never has, and it never will. because I don't buy into all this, you know, and all this pretense, right? I've said this as well. When people say I identify as a banana, I identify as a woman, I identify as a cat. The word identify is pretend. So I pretend to be a woman, I'm pretending to be a banana. That's what I'm pretending. Now you have to go along, in their minds, in their heads, you have to go along with those delusions, okay? And we have to say, okay, this 14-year-old girl in her school, I think it's Bradford or somewhere, they're treating her as a cat, so we have to go along with that. Well, I'm afraid I would give her a litter tray in the corner of the classroom and tell her to go for a piss there. I'll give her a saucer of milk and tell her to get on all fours and drink out of it. And I'll take her down the vet's. I'll have her touched all over by a vet and injected against parvovirus or whatever animals get. That's what I would do. If she's a cat, treat her like a cat, you know? And that's a good thing, because if somebody's pretending to be whatever they are, treat them like that. So if somebody says I identify as a male, you know, I'm a female, I was born a girl, but I'm transitioning, I want to be a male, so my name was Jane, now it's Jim, treat him like a man. So that's a good thing. Treat him like a man. Buy him a pint, not a gin and tonic, buy him a pint. Ask him if he wants an arm wrestle. I don't know. Do what men do. Yeah, treat him like a man. Why not? That's what he wants to be. That's what he pretends to be. That's what he identifies as. Nothing wrong with that. I don't mean to be nasty about it to anybody. Like I say, I've got a friend who was male and is now female, or on the way to being female. But we could look at it and say, if you put a wig on, some nail varnish, and call yourself Mary, are you a woman? Well, no, you're not. But you're on your way towards being a woman, and at the moment you're a transvestite. That's what you are, because you're a man who likes to be dressed as a woman, but you're on your way towards perhaps a sex change operation, and then you'll be a woman. Now, maybe that's right, maybe that's wrong. Am I looking at it wrong? I don't know. Is that a hate crime I've just said? I don't know. I don't think so, because I would support, and I do support my friend, but I would support my family member, my personal friends, my neighbours. If they said, I feel like this is what's happening, I would support them, love and respect them, nothing wrong with that. And in my world, the world that I don't fit in, is about love and about respect and about caring. And it's not about pretending to be this and that and something else. I am what I am. And do I now need to pretend, because of these hate crimes, do I now need to pretend that, you know, something that I don't like? Do I now need to pretend that I love everything about Christianity, that the Bible is true? Do I need to pretend that? Anyway. I'm sweating. It's 20 degrees today. 20. Thank you, Mr. Solar Face. Love ya. Oh dear. So that's a long video about stuff that's probably wound you up, maybe. I don't know. I don't really care, because I think if you're honest with yourself, then you would agree with probably some of what I've said. You know, you have to live your life according to your own set of morals and your own terms. Live your life for you, but don't expect everybody else to jump on board And if they don't start shouting racist, homophobic, transphobic, you're a transphobe. I heard that on a YouTube. This guy said on YouTube something or other, and this woman straight away said, "You're transphobic." And he said, "Why?" He said, "Just because I've said so and so." And she said, "Yeah, you're transphobic." He said, "Well, I'm not." She said, "You are." And he said, "Well, you're saying I am, so I am according to you. I'm saying I'm not, and that's according to me." And she just said, "Well, you are. Yeah." She was going really badgering him, and he said, "Well, I'm not, you know, I don't have to explain myself." He said, "This is how my thoughts, my opinions and what have you." He said, "But I have a son who's 28. His son is now his daughter. He loves him, loves her, respects her, and that's that. He's fully on board." Anyway, I'm too hot. I'm going to get in the car, head off home for a Slurpee. Take it easy and be well.